Today we're going to be taking a look at my new daily driver. This is a 1966 Ford Custom. Now that's a trim level below the Galaxy, which means it has just a little bit less chrome and a little bit less of the luxury options that you got in the Galaxy. But at any rate, it's the same body, it's all the same panels, it's all the same parts, except this says Custom on it. You can see right here, or at least mine says Custom because the parts fell off. It's actually a really nice car. It's probably the nicest car in the Reidus and Cletus fleet right now. I sold the Suburban so that I could buy something a little bit more practical for Toronto traffic, and I know it doesn't seem like this would be that kind of thing. It's actually quite good. It's really, really easy to park, I've found, even though it only has one mirror on the side. It's quite comfortable also. It's got two bench seats, one in the back, one in the front, and the straight six under the hood is one of the smoothest engines I think I've ever had in a car, and I've owned a V12 Jaguar, so let's have a look at that. There she is, 300 cubic inches of Ford. So basically, this engine was swapped out, or in rather, because the original engine would have been a 240 cubic inch straight six. The 300 shares a lot with the 240, including, I'm pretty sure that the whole top end is the same, all the heads and stuff. The only difference is that this is a stroked motor, so it's a little bit of a longer stroke, which means you get a little bit more torque too. And this thing is not very powerful. It makes about 120 horsepower and 223 pound-feet of torque, which isn't much, and it all breathes through this tiny, tiny, tiny one-barrel carburetor. It's hilarious. I don't know what the CFM is on it, but it's got to be like, I don't know, it's an Autolite 1100, I think, is the brand name, so you can look that up if you want. It's pretty hilarious. But nonetheless, it actually runs really, really nice. We just finished a road trip with this thing about a week ago. We drove it all the way to Detroit, and that was for an episode. We finished shooting for that, so it's going to be coming out pretty soon. 2 weeks, actually. So let's take a look inside. There's me. So as you might be able to see, this car is in superb shape. It's had the seats redone, it's had the headliner redone, everything in here is really good, almost everything works. I mean, there isn't much that can go wrong. It's only got two gauges. It's got the speedometer and it's got the fuel gauge. So, you know, in American cars, nothing else matters except how fast you're going and how long can I go that fast for. So that's pretty cool. We've had to do a few things to make it nice. We vacuumed it out. It has an aux cord in it right now that I just installed the other day, and this right here is an aftermarket radio, which sounds okay. I'd still like to upgrade to a more modern one with an aux built in, just so it sounds better. It has to be rewired properly too, because the way it was wired is it forgets all your presets when you turn the car off, which is a little bit too bad. But other than that, it's a really nice car. I've already got my stuff kind of in it. You know, it's my daily driver. I use this thing every day almost. When I'm not riding my bike to work, I take this to trips and such. Really comfy. It's only got 99,000 miles on it. It's about to roll over to 100,000, so we'll get to watch that. We'll get to watch it go back to 000, which means it'll be totally restored, and it'll be perfect. This thing is actually great. It gets about 20 miles per gallon on the highway. We've driven up to the cottage. It fits 6 people. I am really, really in love with this car. I really have no regrets selling the Suburban. Some people can call me soft because this thing, you know, doesn't make much horsepower. It's a big old 4-door sedan. It has a 3-speed automatic and whatever. You guys can say whatever you want because I daily drive a 51-year-old car. This thing is excellent. So that's it for this week's Reidus and Cletus Weekly. There's a little bit of a walk around of our 1966 Ford Custom. Hope you enjoyed it. And I almost forgot to mention, it's a nice, quiet cruiser.